Hey guys, Phildrake here. So how you guys all doing? I just beat A Plague Tale Innocence just yesterday. It was quite a good experience. So 15 chapters or so. It was a long journey, and the story began, really slowly. It began really slowly, and just yesterday when I beat it, I figured out some things. There are many characters in this game. I would not spoil a thing for you, but I'm just gonna say some names of the characters, so brief informations behind this. So you got, it's plague time. Rats everywhere. It's a pandemic, right? And people are running. Rats are, coming underground, eating people. It's quite of an experience, to see how these developers animated rats. They're basically, it's a horde of the rats underground that's coming in and eating people, and you gotta use your resources. You gotta use a fire. You gotta use your sling to protect, yourself. In this story, you got Amicia, Hugo, Beatrice, and some of the other characters like Lucas, Rodrigo, or Ricardo. I'm not sure now, but there are at least 6, 7 characters in this story that's coming in slowly. It's like they're regrouping. It's like a little army, and it's starting really innocent, and that's why it is Innocence. It says like Innocence at the end, A Plague Tale Innocence. They are looking really innocent at the very beginning, because they're brother and sister living in this huge village with their mother, and the army of the knights, attack them, and they're just trying to survive. There are no really opponents here except from the rats. They're the real opponent, and your villains, they gotta survive in this pandemic crazy world. So 15 chapters, it was a long time. Few times it was frustrating because of the difficulty. I played on normal difficulty. You can choose, there's a range of these difficulties. But overall, great experience. I like the graphics. I like the gameplay. So regardless of the gameplay being robotic, it's indie game, obviously. So it's not like a Naughty Dog game developed this game. The good example was the story. The story, how it was, the origin story from the very beginning, and how it got developed, through the characters, and brother Hugo, sister Amicia getting together, trying to survive. You're getting connected to these characters. So I really like that idea of the surviving. Family is surviving, basically. And there's, your allies, there's, I believe, some informations now that I won't say for you, so I will spoil the thing for you. If you're just planning to buy or play A Plague Tale Innocence, you can just see some brief informations here. I'm not gonna spoil a thing for you. It's the thing about surviving in this pandemic plague world. And basically, Amicia, I can say that. So Amicia uses her resources to get through these circumstances. And these nine, you can hide in bushes. You have the strategies, so she's also a fighter, and she also can beat these guys. She can also sneak in around these bushes to, you can escape the whole area without being spotted. So you're able to do that. Also, the one thing that I would like to mention is her brother, which is really mysterious from the very beginning, and he develops some things, that you're gonna be able to experience. So you're gonna find out. If you're about to play it, you're gonna find out. I'm not gonna say. But these, along the path, along the whole journey, you got on board with 7 or 8 characters. And it's all about puzzles. Many times you will have puzzles. Many times you will have the situations where you need to decide, oh, if I'm gonna beat these guys or I'm just gonna sneak by them. It's up to you, to decide what you're about to do. And I'm just curious about your opinion also. So let me know in the comments below also if you play the game already. Say what's your thoughts on it, what's your opinion. And from there we can chat, what do you think about these characters, what do you think about it story wise. I think it was really emotional at times, it was really emotional, because they're really innocent. They're really innocent people trying to survive. They're not heroes. They're not, somebody who's really, like a big character. I mean, you're gonna find out down the path what's gonna happen with those characters. But I think it's really, to put it shortly, warm and long journey. Long and warm journey. And there were few, I couldn't tell the difference between cinematic and a gameplay. Being cut in between the cinematic and a gameplay, I couldn't tell the difference. That is pretty insane. That indie game can develop till this point where really all cutscenes are set in the game. There's no skip. There's no a skip thing. I mean, there is a black bars, fade in, crossfade, but you can see the character model, the polygons. In the cinematic and in the gameplay, they're exactly the same. So they didn't shoot only cinematic scenes, they planned everything in one piece. So they intertwined cinematic with the gameplay. And you can see the same expression models, same characters inside the gameplay, inside the cutscenes. So they're not separate also. They're not separate at all. They're really the same. So yeah, that's the one thing about A Plague Tale: Innocence, along with other indie games. It's really, the only difference is it's more polygons, more detail, and more emerging story. So I'm really suggesting everybody who's the fan of some indie games, this is the one that you check it out right away if you're really a fan of these kind of things. It's about a pandemic. We're all in the pandemic, and that's why it's really emotional, because you're set now in this, I would say, even worse time. The plague was a really worse time than this coronavirus, because you can really attach to these characters. You can see what they're going through. You can, from that experience, so you can see for yourself, how you're feeling about it now, because you're going through it with your family, with everybody. You're going through this coronavirus, but you're also, playing the game with people who are trying to survive almost, even worse thing than that you're surviving, if you know what I'm trying to say. So kind of you can really attach to it, and what's the word that I'm looking for? So you can empathize with these characters and you understand what they're going through, because you're going through you're going through also a pandemic situation now. You're trying to deal with it. You're trying to to handle it as best as you can. It is a surviving adventure game, and it's really warm, like I said, and long. A few times it was frustrating because of the difficulty. You gotta check for yourself also what difficulty suits you best. For me, it was normal difficulty, and from there, you will. I think you can appreciate the story very much. That will be it actually for this video. A Plague Tale: Innocence is done. I'm currently on Resident Evil Village, and I can't wait to get my hands on it. I just started off with part 1, and I'm just now around the village part. I'm avoiding every videos out there. I'm avoiding any spoilers. I would like to experience things for myself. I'm not gonna broadcast also. My internet connection is being bad for a few days now, and I tried also to broadcast it. I couldn't do it. Internet connection is gonna mess up all the things. I'm gonna play it for myself, and I'm gonna make a video with my opinion and thoughts, like just on this Plague Tale: Innocence. Incredible, great game, 10 out of 10. Gameplay could have been better, but hey, they done brilliant gameplay with rats. You can't deny that. They really did a good job, these developers, with these rats. How they're acting. They're avoiding fire, of course. It's their natural instinct. It's really realistic gameplay and a realistic world that you're in. So yeah, you can really empathize with these characters, like I said. And that will be it for this review of the Plague Tale: Innocence. If you haven't played it, you can you can play it, check out for yourself. So it's an indie game, like I said. but it's a more than an indie game. Actually, it's a really great experience. So till the next time, see you soon and catch you later.